Hey guys, we're back again with another video. And if you guys have watched some of my videos, some of my previous videos, you may have seen that there's a couple of fights that I really want to see as a boxing fan, right? And one of them being is Jerome Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz stepping into the ring and going head to head. However, after the events that have unfolded last week, I really think we are much further away from it actually happening. And there was talks, right, coming to the end of last year. Remember Eddie Hearn mentioned this, that, early 2026. It's now early 2026, and I really don't think it's happening at all. Firstly, we see the video from Oscar De La Hoya saying that he'll make the fight happen if it's 60-40. Fine. That video gave me the inclination that, you know what, this fight is really not happening anytime soon, because it just shows that there's still a lot of talks and negotiating that needs to happen. Then the news comes out that Vergil Ortiz Jr. has filed a lawsuit against Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions due to a breach of contract and interference with potential earnings, particularly around the fight with him and Jerome Boots Ennis. Now, when I saw this, I thought, okay, we are much further along from this fight taking place. According to that lawsuit, Vergil Ortiz claims that he has the power to walk away should the deal with DAZN and Golden Boy Promotions come to an end, which it did in December. However, Oscar De La Hoya has come out publicly saying that the contract is still valid, his team is breaching it, and that they will aggressively defend this lawsuit. As well as Oscar also saying that he is negotiating with Eddie Hearn and DAZN to make this fight happen with Jerome Boots Ennis. Ultimately, after all of this news has come out, not only has it shown that this fight is nowhere near going to be made, and we've probably got a little while to go to wait to see this fight, it also shows that, like, it's not just a legal battle, it also determines the next steps and how the future looks for Vergil Ortiz's career. As a boxing fan, with all these claims out, I just hope that they're able to come to a resolution, that a solution is provided. Of course, this is a lawsuit, so it's taken up to the courts. It's quite serious, it involves somebody's career, so I just hope that they're able to come to some settlement that works out for both parties. Maybe, just maybe, in the near future, we could potentially see the fight with Jerome Boots Ennis, because us boxing fans still want to see it. But what a way to start the year. And on other news, we also saw that Jai Opetia has signed a promotional deal with Zuffa Boxing. Now, it's really important to notice that this is a promotional deal and not a management deal. It means that Zuffa Boxing is more focused on marketing, the promotion, the broadcasting deals, which platforms the fights are on, and matchmaking. But the thing that's really interesting is the fact that Jai has been very clear on what he wants next. He wants a unification, he wants undisputed, and he wants to make those big fights happen. And on paper, him aligning with Dana White's Zuffa Boxing, it suggests access. And this access is to major platforms, right? But the thing that's also really interesting is the fact that Dana White has made it very clear that he wants to stay clear of sanctioning bodies. However, Jai Opetia is a world champion, and as the world champion, he depends on them. Zuffa Boxing has entered a co-promotional deal with Tasman Fighters, which is Jai Opetia's team, and obviously Jai Opetia's co-promotional deal with Matchroom came to an end. But I also think that this would be an opportunity, right, for Dana White to show what he can do with an elite boxer like Jai Opetia, like how he's able to put them on great platforms, how he's able to put on these massive fights, these big fights with incredible opponents. I think this is probably what he also wants to be able to show the boxing world. This will also be really interesting to see how it plays out, and it'll be also interesting to see if they sign any other boxers who are like Jai Opetia, who are world champions, and to be able to see what they do with their careers and the fights that they put on, and how these fights are put on, and how they are marketed, and the matchmaking. I'm really interested to see all of that. But I would imagine with the access and the platforms that Zuffa Boxing, that Turk Al Sheikh, that Dana White, that they have in their reach, that's something that's really cool to see. Because if you think about this fight that happened with Canelo Crawford, that was put on a major broadcasting platform like Netflix. And as we know, Dana White promoted that fight, and it was a massive fight. And fair enough, granted, Canelo and Terence Bud Crawford, naturally on their own, they are big boxing stars, but it was the way in which it was carried out, and it was actually done quite beautifully, to be fair, and it was broadcasted, like I said before, on a major platform that millions and millions of people got to watch it for free if you had a Netflix subscription. But I'll be able to share much more as we continue to develop in this new year 2026, as I'm sure more information will come out as the months go on. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment. I love talking to you guys in the comments, and I'm going to catch you guys in my next video. Bye for now.